Say hey everybody, it's your guy Brandon Stubbs here with another YouTube video. So I share my thoughts and views here on the latest news in boxing. Sorry it's been a couple of weeks since I've dropped one of these. Life gets in the way, but I'm here to talk boxing news. Yeah. So, so before I start off, as every YouTuber says, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button below. I'd gladly appreciate it. Yeah, and any comments, feedback, any of that kind of stuff, leave that below as well. Any questions you want answered here on the next video, I'll definitely get into that. So like I said, man, it's been a couple of weeks, so a lot to go over. Let me start here with maybe the oldest of the news I'm going to talk about here on this video is Canelo signing with PBC, him now booking a fight for September 30th in Las Vegas against a Charlo, but not the Charlo we thought we were going to initially get. It's going to be Jermell Charlo, not Jamal. Not Jamal Charlo. So it's the 154 champion, not the 160 champion. Now, I'm a little bit indifferent here. I think 160 Charlo would have been a tougher fight. I think 154 Charlo's no punk. Maybe obviously the more active of the two brothers. Maybe the guy that's got the most to prove. I don't know, man. He seems like he wants it a little bit more and may have his head screwed on a little bit tighter, if that makes much sense. So, he's going to get the opportunity. He's going to be moving up 2 weight classes, the challenge here for all the belts at 168. So you have a guy that has all the belts at 154, a guy that has all the belts at 168. I mean, historically, this is big. So salute to both of those guys for taking the fight and when to make the fight. Salute to PBC for putting the fight together. I do hate that it's not in Texas, quite honestly, and not on Mexican Independence Day weekend as we're used to seeing Canelo fight. This fight is going to be September 30th in Las Vegas. You know, UFC has the T-Mobile Arena book. I think there's some other acts that same weekend in Vegas that has the Michelob Ultra, a.k.a. Mandalay Bay, and MGM Grand booked. So there was really nowhere for this fight to be held. There along the strip, your usual suspects. Now, Texas would have made the most sense, obviously, with Charlo being from there, Canelo being Mexican. There's a heavy Mexican fan base there in the state. You could have put that in any city in Texas and it would have sold. Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, put them in any one of those 3. You have basketball arenas, you have football stadiums. That fight could have sold, period. But instead, we're going to get it in Vegas the end of September. Beggars can't be choosers. We'll take it. We'll like it. I like Canelo in the fight, but you never know, man. This is going to be a good fight, I think. I really do think it's going to be a good fight. So that's going to be September 30th. So definitely check that one out. And I'll have more insight and my opinions on that closer to the fight. But right now I'm going to pick Canelo because, well, Canelo always wins. Let me talk now about the heavyweight division of some fights that have gotten booked that I'm scratching my head at. Not so much this first one, but I think you know where I'm going with this. Alexander Usyk is going to be defending 3 of his heavyweight championships of the 4 out there against Daniel Dubois. Now, I was on the Daniel Dubois train heavy for years. I thought he was going to be the next big thing in the heavyweight division. When he had his real first big test and fellow contender he fought in Joe Joyce, he got lumped up and beat up. I don't want to say he got exposed, but he got exposed, and he really didn't look great his last fight out as well. Getting dropped and kind of getting a little bit of home cooking and getting some more opportunities to end that fight and be in that fight than maybe he should have gotten. But that's neither here nor there because I don't think it's going to happen this time around. Usyk looks like he is filling in a little bit more into the heavyweight division as far as his body frame looks. From the press conference they had for this fight, he definitely looks like he's a little bit thicker. Pause. So I'm liking his chances here. I'm liking Usyk just to pretty much just outboxing for 12 rounds. I don't think Dubois right now has the ring IQ to deal with someone like Usyk for 12 rounds and be able to beat him. He's going to have to probably land something big to earn Usyk's respect, make Usyk fear him a little bit and not want to engage. But, early predictions for that is Usyk via UD. Now let me talk about the other heavyweight fight that got announced, seemed like the same day. Tyson Fury is going to be facing Francis Ngannou. Now, it's not going to be for the WBC championship, at least I think, and it won't be for the ring championship, at least I think. I don't think the WBC has made an official ruling, but This is going to be, from what I'm understanding, a 10-round fight. It's going to be somewhere in the Middle East. I want to say Abu Dhabi or Dubai. Somewhere over there, this fight is going to happen. Like I said, 10 rounds. For those who aren't familiar with who Francis Ngannou is, he's the former heavyweight champion of the UFC, quote unquote, one of the baddest men on the planet. Mm. Um, but a solid fighter, damn solid fighter as far as mixed martial arts go, and does look very heavy handed as far as mixed martial arts go. And what people fail to realize, striking and boxing, striking and mixed martial arts are two totally different things. I think he's going to learn that out the hard way. They are saying both men are guaranteed to stand in the middle of the ring in exchange. No, they won't. That won't occur. So Tyson Fury's just going to jab him to death. He's going to beat him up. But for Ngannou, he's going to make a career high payday. So salute to him. It will boost his profile as far as him going back to mixed martial arts, saying at least he tried to fight the top heavyweight in the world, arguably top heavyweight in the world, or at least him fighting the lineal heavyweight champion. They love to throw that out when it comes to Tyson Fury. So there you go. You have that fight, and that'll also happen here later this year. Forgive me for not having the exact date. I should have took notes, but I didn't. But whatever. So you have that. So there's that. I mean, it is what it is in regards to that. Now let me talk a little bit of, I don't know if it's confusion mess or whatever you want to call it here in the lighter weight classes. So salute to jailbird Gervonta Davis, who got out of custody after being locked away, having to finish the rest of his house arrest sentence. He did 44 days, if I read correctly, in actual police custody or correctional facilities, whatever you want to call the shit. He did 44 days. He got out here, and there's already, murmurings of what's going to be his next fight or going to be his next opponent. Now, Devin Haney's been one that we've thought maybe could be an option. Devin Haney's a free agent. Now that his deal is done with Top Rank, we don't know if Devin Haney's going to stay at 135. He's going to move up to 140, so we have that. We have now the belt possibly being vacated here by Teofimo Lopez, who's said he's retired and then seemingly trying to come out of retirement, willing to fight some guys here at 140 and defend that belt, claiming he is the undisputed, I guess, multi-weight champion now for two different divisions, which he's really not the undisputed champion here at 140. Yes, he beat the guy who had all the belts, but now other people have all the belts and they can say, well, I have a belt, you're not undisputed. That's how that works. But whatever, Teofimo Lopez is in his own world. That is Teofimo Lopez. Honestly, I didn't think he was going to be retired long at all. I gave it 1 to 2 years max. So it wouldn't shock me if he's actually willing to come back and fight sooner than later. It's also not surprising that he's not going to get the 9-figure deal that he's wanting to come back to box. So there's that part. I wish Teofimo Lopez the best of luck in all of his future endeavors. And I'll leave it at that. Come on, Teofimo Lopez is the sharpest knife in the drawer. We can tell that by some of the things he says and some of his antics. It is what it is. Something else I do want to touch on here that was here from a couple of weeks ago, since again we did my last recording here, is one Virgil Ortiz. Virgil Ortiz was supposed to face, forgive me for forgetting this young man's first name, but Stanionis. This was going to be a title eliminator here at 147. I want to say it was IBF, if memory serves me correct, but it was one of those belts to where they would have been in line, I think, to be whoever's the IBF champion after a couple of weeks, whether it's Earl Spencer, Terrence Crawford. They're mandatory for that belt. This was the third time this fight was scheduled. There have been injuries, there's been some COVID issues, and the fight still doesn't happen this time around. As Virgil Ortiz feints trying to cut weight, it has more medical issues. Now, as we remember here, one of the times before, he ended up getting sick and having some issues with his liver or his kidneys and some sort of disease with that. The long and short of it is this, that's seeming to be sadly clear, is he can't make 147 pounds. He can't. It's very clear. It's weird for somebody that young to have weight issues like this so quickly. Him coming up in weight now, all of a sudden just can't make 147. Now, something else somebody has pointed out that may be some validity to it, that he's had all these weight issues since leaving Robert Garcia. Just put that in your back pocket and take it for what it's worth. But he's out. He's not going to be fighting here against Stanionis. That's a fight that the sanctioning body has said, no, we're not going to revisit. Poor Stanionis was talking about how dirty Golden Boy did him in a very long social media post, and gave his recap and his recant of what happened here fight week for that. It's a shame. It sucks to be him. He's now went through 3 fight camps and has zero to show for it. No fight, no nothing. He's got nothing to show for it, which stinks. So hopefully he can get something sooner than later. Maybe a stay busy fight of some sorts. Find a, maybe PBC can throw him a bone and give him a 6 rounder just to keep him active, just to get him some sort of action before he's thrown back in there. Because if he is going to be facing the winner of Terrence Crawford, Earl Spence, let's be honest, that's not going to happen immediately. If anything, he's going to be facing somebody for the vacant belt, because rumor has it, regardless of who wins this fight, if there is a rematch, they're moving up to 154. So there's that part. So it puts that young man in a very shitty situation. None of this was of his doing. None of this was his fault. And you feel for guys like that when things and scenarios like this break down. So we'll see how that works. To Golden Boys, I guess, credit, you can say they were able to salvage that card. They were able to keep the event going with Floyd Schofield, a young man I've interviewed a couple of times. He ended up being the main event, and somebody that looks like Golden Boy is going to pretty much try to put the promotional push behind as being maybe the new face of the promotion, with Joseph Diaz having his own very sketchy legal troubles, and not looking the greatest in the ring, and missing weight as he did this couple weeks ago. This last fight card Golden Boy had. You got Ryan Garcia, who doesn't seem all that happy with the way things are happening and some of the dealings here with the upper management of Golden Boy. Floyd, it looks like he's going to end up being in a perfect position to get a promotional push. So we'll see what happens with that young man. I wish him the best of luck, and hopefully things pan out correctly for him and Golden Boy. But it's boxing. Shit happens. One last note here before I go, because I'll do a video after the fact of this happening. You're going to get one final card from Thompson Boxing. Now, I can't stress enough what club shows mean to boxing and what it means to boxers. Thompson Boxing is I hate using the word club show, but it's a club show. It finds these young fighters, builds them up, helps these guys get exposure. They stream their cards free through their YouTube channel and on their Facebook page, and they're always in California, and had a great job. But unfortunately, Mr. Thompson had an untimely passing early this year. He passed. They had a couple of fight cards afterwards, and this time around they said the fight card they're going to have here on July 21st is going to be the last, as Thompson Boxing will cease operation. So it's sad to see that go, because there aren't any real major mid-tier club kind of cards that you see streaming their fight cards for free, getting these guys exposure, having Doug Fischer from Ring Magazine there, and Steve Kim has done cards there, and they have exposure that they just wouldn't get from a normal club show with what Mr. Thompson and the team at Thompson Boxing was doing. And that's a void that I don't see anyone stepping up and filling. Now, I know you're going to say, well, Golden Boy has, little cards that they do on DAZN. You have the Paul guy doing those cards on DAZN, but they're not really the same. They're not the same vibe of a club show per se. You also have, Hollywood Boxing with what Tom Leffler's doing, which, may fill some of that void. But again, you're having to watch these guys through a paywall, whether it be UFC, the UFC channel, I forget what it's called. Maybe it's just the UFC channel. Whatever their website is, their app, to Fight Pass. Yeah, Fight Pass. UFC Fight Pass, to watch some of these boxing cards, or having to have a subscription for DAZN to watch some of these fight cards. You're missing out on being able to see these guys for free, and these guys building a buzz, and it's not there because it's behind a paywall. And what Thompson was doing was giving fight fans and fighters an opportunity to be seen in front of a massive crowd through the streaming platforms that they had, build a buzz, and now that's all gone here after their final card that they're going to do here on July 21st. So it's sad to see, but I also want to encourage anyone who's watching this video before, obviously before the fight card happens here on the 21st, is to tune in. So make sure you're subscribing to Thompson Boxing's YouTube channel. Make sure you get that notification sent to you so you know when that fight card starts here on the 21st. And I want all of us boxing fans to show up and show out and show support for this final fight card because it's big. It's extremely important here to boxing that we show them that we appreciate what they did here from a club show level, giving these young fighters an opportunity and a stage to perform. And unfortunately, that stage will be gone here after their final card on the 21st. So wanted to give them a quick salute in regards to that. Also, quick salute here to my beloved Dallas Cowboys as we will be getting ready to start training camp here in the coming days. So football is back, and I'm ready for that. But boxing is back too, so we'll have a card here from Showtime, excuse me. Top Rank, I have a card here coming up here with George Kambosos returning. There's fight cards all the way around, and obviously I'll be doing another video before and after Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence fight here in a welterweight showdown that's been long awaited. So stay tuned for that. Like I said, man, and hit the subscribe button. I would appreciate it. Comments and feedback also are appreciated. I'll try to make sure I can actually speak in complete sentences when I do these videos next time. As anyone has known, has listened to the podcast, no. Yeah, I ain't worth a damn. But I do appreciate you sticking around and listening to this video and my points and views here on boxing. Y'all take care, and until next time, I am out.